Testing, testing. Is this thing on? Oh boy. We're going handheld and taking the whole remote podcast thing to a whole new level. I don't have headphones, so there's no real way for me to know what's going on here. But yeah, we're going to give this thing a go. So if you're just listening, you may not be able to tell, but I am currently in Joshua Tree. I have an Airstream camper van all to myself, which I'm sure by the time of posting this podcast, maybe there's something up on my Instagram account. So you can go ahead and check that out. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously you know what's up. I got a nice little camera angle going with the Airstream in the background, and hopefully you guys can see my car there. We do have sunrise peeking up over the I don't know, would you consider that a valley? I guess it's like an open plain of the desert. And I'm trying to do this as janky as possible. It's hard to tell what the recording levels are. Hopefully I'm not peaking too bad, but yeah, here we are, guys, in the middle of the desert. It is 6 a.m. on the nose, and my plan is to keep this video / podcast a bit short. And I really don't have a topic in mind either. I haven't really been thinking of topics, so I don't really have anything pressing that I want to talk about at this given moment. But I think what we will cover is just mental clarity. And I'm going to kind of just like ramble for 10-15 minutes about why I decided to just randomly take a trip to Joshua Tree. Kind of in the middle of the day yesterday, decided, you know what, I could use a little bit of time to myself, some quiet time, and it is quiet out here. Let me just pause for a sec. You guys can listen to the landscape. Yeah, I mean, you probably couldn't hear anything, but point being, it is incredibly dark. I don't know why I said dark. It is incredibly quiet. Last night it was a pretty dark night. Although the moon was pretty much in full effect, so I would say, I don't know, from the moonlight alone, there's plenty of light. I don't know where I'm rambling with this little tangent here, but yes. So I randomly decided to take a trip, and I've done this before. If you guys are familiar with my Apex PXL account for my car, and if you've watched any of those YouTube videos, you'll know that I took a camping trip out of the back of my car to kind of like the Santa Monica, other side of Santa Monica. There's like the Malibu Hills, Malibu Canyons. There's a nice little campsite in there right across from the ocean. So just not entirely last minute, but a few days out in advance, booked a place and made it a little like one-on-one camping trip. And I don't mind it, I kind of enjoy going on these like random little obscure trips with the One series. I think it's a lot of fun. It's good quality bonding time, although, not gonna lie, it'd be nice if there was someone else here. But, having said that, I think alone time is very nice. And so kind of since I've been out here, I haven't had any distractions, no family members, no work, no friends, no social media, all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of nice to look around the scenery. It is amazing to kind of come out this far into the desert, and there's a couple of different like RV spots and stuff. Like my neighbor next door, I have yet to check that out. I don't know if there's anyone over there, but it looks like an old abandoned bus. But point being, it's just open vastness. Like I think the next campsite is, and I call it a campsite, but they're like Airbnb sites. I think the next closest one is like, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile in each direction. So that's not like super isolated, I should say, but yeah, I'm like a mile and a half from the main road, and then even the main road is like pretty desolate and empty. So I don't know, it's kind of nice to step out into nature and just not be near anyone. Although here again, I'm saying step out into nature, and I slept in like a Airstream camper van last night. And if you guys are watching this video, actually, if you're watching this on YouTube, I would say keep watching. Give it a like if you're interested and subscribe. But then also maybe check out my Apex PXL channel for the car. Probably going to document this entire experience as a vlog, and then the goal, which I have yet to see some of the footage because it was filmed like at midnight last night while I was taking photos of my car. The goal is to produce 1 or 2 YouTube videos for my main channel out here as well. And then obviously the miscellaneous Instagram stuff. So I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I haven't really disconnected from social media. I've just delayed the scrolling of the feed, but I'm still very much in this content creation mindset. But either way, out here, out in the desert, it's nice to get back to the desert. We used to do this a lot as kids growing up with my family. So yeah, it's nice to get back out here, and I miss it. There were also some dirt bikes ripping around last night, and I really do miss that. I miss just trailblazing with friends and, finding new routes. But, you really don't think much. You just like, here's this big couple mile radius that I'm going to stay within because I don't want to get lost. Pick random trails. If I feel like going right and left, all this, you do it. And look at the wildlife. Man, I got some birds coming in here. Let's talk for a moment about my stay here. So this is an Airbnb. It was listed on Airbnb at $477 a night. I obviously bought my reservation literally day of, so I bought it like Friday afternoon and then showed up Friday evening. And the discounted rate was $177 a night. So on paper, it looks like I'm getting a good deal, although in reality, the $477 could have been literally any price, and they just put a slash through it to make it look like it's a reduced fare and a good deal. And after getting here, I'm realizing the photos make it look a lot better than it does in reality. I'm not trying to bash on the owners, and I know they have a couple of security cameras. I'm not sure if there's microphones as well, but it's. I mean, when I think about what $177 does for you, like booking a hotel, I would say it's comparable. You obviously don't have a lot of the amenities that you might have at a hotel, and you're obviously not in close proximity to life, like some sort of like Main Street kind of deal. But almost think that's a plus at this point. But either way, kind of where I'm going with this is it's not as nice as the photos made it to look out. And I also thought there was a hot tub, so I was kind of a little disappointed when there wasn't one. But that's fine. I'm here for such a short period of time anyway. It doesn't really matter. But I don't know. It's nice. It was comfortable as well. The inside of the Airstream was pretty hot last night going to bed, but once like 2 a.m. rolled around, I had all the windows cracked open so I could get like as much of an airflow as possible, which I do think helped. So I was actually able to crawl under some sheets later towards the night. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a decent deal, and it's got a cool rope swing bed. I watched an episode of The Office over there. Got a little nauseous, but I don't know. It's just like the very slight movements. My brain knows I'm moving when I'm not supposed to be. So anyway, that's an interesting one. But yes, no, it's been nice. And I'm remembering now, I didn't throw the drone up this morning, so I'll probably do that at some point. I got lots to film. I'm a busy bee, not really resting. I need to take some time off work to just rest, reset mentally. But I know that won't happen because I'm going to film, and the whole time I'm going to be stressed out. But either way, let's dive into how my photo shoot went last night, because I had not been on a dedicated photo shoot well, we talked about this on one of the episodes of the podcast. I guess my last paid shoot was November of last year, and obviously this wasn't a paid shoot because I'm just out here alone, so I commissioned myself technically. But I haven't been on like a photo shoot vibe where I'm taking photos with the intent of producing content and all this kind of stuff in maybe, I think the last one was like Lunar New Year, so I don't know if that was. I don't think that was May. Was that March? I don't know. Whenever Lunar New Year was, but did little bit of like a kind of a work shoot, kind of a fun shoot. Um, but yeah, and I didn't really even post any of those photos either. If you're interested in finding them, they're on Samantha Tan's feed. If you scroll back, probably a good ways now, because she's actually like a good influencer and stays consistent on social media. But yeah, it's been a while since I shot last. So breaking out all the camera gear was kind of a foreign thing for me. I guess in the last couple months, what it's really turned into is just me haphazardly running around with my camera every once in a while and shooting pictures of the oneer. If I go to a Cars and Coffee or something, maybe I'll take the camera out. And it's amazing how I don't want to say that the passion has faded, because I don't think it has. Getting out there last night and taking photos, I still had those kind of like the butterflies, maybe not the right way to put it, but you get excited when the photo comes back on the back of the camera and you're like, all right, yeah, we're dialing in the shot. I got something that I like now. Things are clicking, things are working. I still have that, but I think just because I'm been pulled in so many different directions in life, it's been hard for me to kind of like focus in on that like photography sensation. So I know that's kind of masking a lot of the joy from the photography. But anyway, where I'm going with that is just I haven't been taking as many photos lately. So anyway, I got all of the camera gear out last night, and I pretty much packed it all. It occurred to me later last night that I left a small tripod at home. Not a big deal, didn't really need it, but would have been nice to set the second camera up on a little bit bigger of a tripod, just to kind of like document things. But either way, I feel like it was very successful. If you're watching the podcast on YouTube, I'm going to throw a photo on screen right now. This is just the only one I've actually edited so far, and I edited it literally right where I'm sitting right now, in this lawn chair, staring out at the vastness of this desert in the middle of the night. It's pretty cool, actually, how my workflow consists of taking an SD card directly from the camera, plugging it into what would be my iPad, although I left the USB-C adapter for the iPad at home. So I guess there's an extra step in there. I had to plug it into my iPhone, grab the photo I wanted, airdrop it to the iPad, edit from Lightroom Mobile on the iPad, which is actually a pretty robust system. And I find it's easier to use my fingers to like drag sliders and gradients and masks and all this kind of stuff. So that's kind of convenient. And then I brought the photo over to Photoshop just to see if I could put the little like drone halo effect in the sky. And I was able to. I wouldn't say I would do massive amounts of like photo compositing on the mobile version of Photoshop. It's getting better. There are so many things you can do in Photoshop on an iPad now that you could only do on desktop. So I feel like the updates are continuously like rolling out. It's actually really impressive, and I think give it a year, give it 6 months, maybe even less, and I think Photoshop will be like a fully fledged version on the iPad if it isn't already. You could do so much on it. So I like the fact that I was able to sit in this lawn chair in the middle of the desert and produce an image, and already have it on my phone to post and to do whatever I want with it. It's pretty cool. It's actually my lock screen on my iPhone as well as my iPad, because I like the photo so much. So yeah, I would say from that point of view, it was a successful shoot. I obviously have a bunch of other photos that I have yet to edit. They're basically all the same photos, just slightly different. I chucked a different lens on, tried a couple of different framings, and then, yeah, I have like some more specific, 3/4 shots and, rear fender shots, things like this. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll probably wait to get to a computer to edit the rest of those, or if I have the iPad going tomorrow evening or something, I'll edit them up. But I'm not in a hurry either. I do have one banging photo. I feel like I'm at the point too where I haven't ever done any of those like shared posts. So like if two accounts post to Instagram from like the together mode or whatever, the collaborate. I don't know what it's called, but I think it'd be really cool to collaborate with myself on my One Series account and on my main account. So I kind of want, a handful of photos that I can kind of swipe through, and maybe even like a vlogging clip that just sort of summarizes the trip. And yeah, it'll be cool to test out that feature on Instagram. So that's kind of the hope. But yeah, otherwise, so far so successful. I have planned, I think what I'm going to do next is probably throw the drone up, grab a couple of clips of this place with somewhat decent lighting. It's still looking pretty nice. So I'll do that, grab a couple clips for continuity's sake, for, extra B-roll shots for the vlogs that I'm posting and whatnot. And also kind of just to document the moment. It's nice to take photos from the drone as well. And then, let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah, I was going to film a kind of like an underrated automotive photography essentials. I basically have like a list of 10 or 11 items that I carry with me on all of my photo shoots, which I think are just kind of like unspoken essentials. So the point is to list out everything beyond camera gear, and definitely beyond the CPL filter, which I feel like has to be mentioned in every automotive photography, what to have in the bag kind of tutorial video. This is going to be more of the obscure stuff. Like I have a skateboard in my bag. I have like a high-vis jacket, all these kind of things that they're just like tips and tricks of the trade that I've learned over the last year and a half as a photographer that I realize by having them on set, it makes your photo, method, the workflow just that much easier. So yeah, we're going to film that video. And then, yeah, kind of not in a hurry to leave, but I believe I have another kind of rendezvous with a buddy of mine and a Huracan Performante. We'll see if this thing ends up happening, but yeah, the plan is to film sort of like a how-to automotive photography intro video. And I'd like to do a how-to automotive photography series that covers all things drone photography, videography, cinematography, rollers, static shots, all this stuff. So I think we're going to start with the photography basics. And, I'm probably just going to film what I film. I don't have talking points or anything kind of mapped out for this afternoon shoot. So like scripted, it's going to be very loose. I'm just going to kind of hit the basics on set and then fill in the pieces, back at the house, talking head, here's what I find works best and that kind of thing, and merge that all together to make, an informative video. Because I believe that a photography series of that nature has potential for viewership, but it also, I'm not really doing this for the viewership anymore. And I realize we're coming up on like 20 minutes here of podcast recording. But I'm not in it for the viewership necessarily right now. I don't know if I ever will. Like, I really don't know what I'm in this for, other than the passion, hanging out with friends, and helping people along the way. I feel like those are kind of like the main 3 pillars of why I'm doing these videos and podcasts and things online. And yeah, I think, I don't know, you get so washed up in the numbers, and that's part of the reason why I'm out here right now in the middle of Joshua Tree, is just I'm so a slave to, looking at engagement on Instagram and, oh, this post didn't do so well, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. So yeah, I think at this point that's kind of the plan, and that's what I have planned for the rest of this weekend. Yeah, just to film those couple of videos. But either way, bringing it back to the content here and my nice little staycation. That's not a staycation, it's a vacation. It's been nice. Would I stay here again? I don't know. Maybe I would. If there was a hot tub, I definitely would. But I feel like there's so many of these little like Airbnb, like artsy looking vacation things that I would try another one next time. I'm not loyal to this specific Airbnb, but yeah, no, I could totally see this being, a viable option for another future trip. I did happen to put like 120 miles on the car on the way out here, and it's probably going to be another 120 on the way back. So, I don't know. That's a bit of a harder pill to swallow for me. I don't know why. But on the other side, I'm enjoying the car. And yeah, the experience has been good. Oh, and I guess a little bit on that note, getting to the photo location last night, because I kind of wanted there to be like a rock wall behind my car. Although I'm realizing in hindsight, I forgot to light the rock wall up after the fact. I should have taken a longer exposure. Maybe there's one in there that I can brighten up the exposure and use it as a background image. But um, yeah, where I'm going with this is I probably didn't need to drive as far into the desert as I did. But there's obviously a main trail, and the ground is a bit harder packed in those areas. So getting stuck is a lot less likely. But if you go off trail, it's more designed for like ATVs, quad kind of things, side by sides, and dirt bikes. So where I'm going with that is like the sand is so much softer that it wasn't totally out of the question whether I got stuck or not. Like there was a good chance that that happened. I like to think my expert line choice and knowledge of like off-roading in the past kind of made it so I didn't get stuck. But there was a point there where I guess my car is slightly lower than I give it credit for. I bottomed out slightly. Luckily, it was only sand, and I'm sure if I look underneath the car, there's probably a little bit of like scrapes and yeah. Such is life, though. I feel like I'm using the car. I'm out here. It's an experience, and I'm just glad I didn't get stuck. To be completely honest with you, but there was a moment there where it was like, okay, all right, keep on the power, power, power. But yeah, the baby, oh, she looks so cool with a coat of dust on her too. I'm not gonna lie. Although the moment I'm getting back, I'm rinsing her off first and foremost, and then probably give her a wash with some good old sudsy soap. Yeah, she deserves it after a trip like this. But yeah, you know what? I don't know if there's really much more to report from my trip out in Joshua Tree. Figured I would sit down and just film a podcast and explain a little bit of why I'm out here. You know, it's just been, I don't know, stuck in my head a little bit. So it's nice to kind of step away from things. Although I don't think this was long enough. I think I need to do like a full week next time. And maybe not a road trip and maybe not even filming, but, you know, pick like a long weekend and just, you know, go somewhere quiet and not think about it, or, you know, start taking more Fridays off, this kind of thing, because I'm beating myself up here, you know. And I think the biggest thing is I need to get in an office with people, because that makes all the difference right there. I've had a couple of Teams calls and I've just been able to like chat. You know, I'm fortunate to be friends with our intern at the moment, which I couldn't be more grateful to have his help. Yeah, just on like the reports, and yeah, it just makes the conversation a lot easier. So yeah, it's nice to have him that I can jump on the call with. But you know, the isolation stuff, man, it's not working for me. So either way, you know, that's pretty much it for this podcast, guys. I hope you enjoyed listening. There's really no value to these, I guess, at this point. I'm going to start getting guests on. I think that'd be kind of like the best thing. I need to get a second microphone, but we'll cross that bridge when we get here. But yeah, because I think that'd be better for like knowledge sake. And here again, I'm not going to push the podcasts at all, but I do think if I got other photographers on there to talk about their experience, you know, not only would that be interesting, but I feel like it also would be helpful, yeah, to navigate a young photographer's career if you're just starting out. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you are watching this on YouTube, feel free to like, subscribe, and if you're listening to this on Spotify, feel free to check the YouTube out. You may see something you like, and maybe I'll do something exclusive for the YouTube viewers. There you go. Alrighty, that's going to be it for today. I will check up with you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening, and peace.